Hi, BTS friends. Hundreds of thousands of notifications flooded the phones of soldiers from all over the world. Curious faces stared at the screens in the hope of seeing the golden magne, as usual cheerful, energetic, full of vigor. However, what they saw was far from that hope. Jungkook appeared on his live show not as a stunning idol with impeccable charm, but as a tired, absent-minded, and no longer able to hide the bitter truth that he had been hiding for so long. She was limp, lethargic, and barely recognized herself in front of the camera. The army failed to focus. It is not because of the visuals that usually steal attention, but because of the mysterious and gloomy aura that emanates without being prevented. The question now is, what is it with Jungkook? When the Jungkook is now live notification appeared, millions of fans instantly invaded the broadcast room like a tidal wave. It didn't take long before the audience numbers soared into the hundreds of thousands in a matter of seconds. But from the beginning, something was different. Jungkook sat alone, wearing a gray loose hoodie, his hair a little messy, and his eyes blank. Not an ordinary blank, but empty is like keeping a secret that is too painful to share, yet too heavy to bear alone. In his silence, before he spoke, the world was like holding its breath. Annyeonghaseyo. His voice was quiet, almost whispering. No smiles, no jokes typical of Jungkook, who usually immediately melt the atmosphere. Several soldiers posted comments asking if he was okay. Some others immediately admitted to goosebumps. For some reason, the atmosphere felt strange, too quiet, too serious. "I'm sorry that today I look a little different," Jungkook said, his eyes looking down, his hands trembling holding an untouched water bottle. "Actually, I was hesitant to broadcast today, but I feel like I have to talk. If not now, I don't know when else I can be honest." The sentence was like a sledgehammer that hit the chest of millions of army around the world. Honestly, honest about what? Isn't everything okay so far? Doesn't Jungkook always look perfect on the screen, whether performing solo, promoting BTS, or attending international events? But in that instant, everything changed. Behind the sparkling light and HD screen, an ordinary human figure is revealed who is being injured. And none of us are ready to hear the continuation. Jungkook let out a long sigh, looking down as if holding something that was about to burst from inside him. "I know this might worry you, but lately my body is not what it used to be. I feel tired quickly, often have headaches, and sometimes dizzy during training. I thought it was just a lack of rest at first, but it turns out it's not that simple." Instantly, thousands of comments flooded the screen. "What? Appa, are you okay? Don't joke, Jungkook. Don't make us worry, please." And tens of thousands of crying emojis instantly flooded the broadcast. But Jungkook remained calm, although it was clear that his eyes were beginning to glaze over. "A few weeks ago, I went to the doctor. And the results? Well, I still need a follow-up examination," he said, this time his voice trembling slightly. "But for sure, I have to reduce physical activities that are too heavy. That's why I started taking a break from my schedule." The army was immediately divided. Some were crying, some were angry, some were silent in confusion. But one thing is certain, this is no small thing. It's not just the flu or fatigue. This is an alarm signal, a hint that there is something much bigger, deeper, and more worrying than just lack of rest. Since that live, the internet exploded. Trending topic around the world is only filled with one name, Jungkook. Various speculations sprang up. Some say he has an autoimmune disease. Some call hormonal disorders. Even some gossip accounts began to speculate about mental stress or physical trauma from work that was too intense. But among all the speculation, the most surprising came from long-time BTS fans who revealed that Jungkook's physical changes have started to appear since a few months ago. His face is thinner, his eyes are more glazed, and he is often seen avoiding the spotlight. Does Big Hit know this? Why is there no official statement? Are they covering something? Or is it Jungkook's personal decision to keep his own secret for as long as possible? Suspicions keep popping up, and nothing can stop the tsunami of speculation that has already swept through the fandom. But what was most heart-wrenching was how Jungkook still tried to smile at the end of his live. With a low voice and red eyes, he said, "I'll be fine. I promise. But in the meantime, I want you to know that I'm human, too. I can get tired, too. I need a break, too. But I won't leave you. Never will. The sentence is like a double-edged sword. On the one hand, full of love and sincerity. On the other hand, implying fear, as if he wanted to give a silent warning that there might be a possibility he couldn't appear as often as he used to. Maybe the time with Jungkook as we know him will change. And since that live, there hasn't been a single public activity from Jungkook. The schedule is empty. Her Instagram account is quiet. BTS's social media does not feature any activity that mentions him. This silence only reinforced the fear that there was something bigger behind Jungkook's quiet words last night. ARMY is now in the most emotional time ever since BTS's hiatus was announced. This time it's not about the group, not about the concert, not about the award. It's about Jungkook, about life, about health, about the human side of an idol that we have always considered cannot be tired, cannot fall, and cannot be injured. But the reality? It's just like us. Perhaps even much more suffering from pressures that we never really understand. Most ironically, even in the midst of such conditions, Jungkook still apologized. Sorry if you were disappointed. Sorry if I look weak. But I promise I'll be strong again. The phrase that the fan should have said to his idol was reversed. And that's Jungkook, an idol who never makes himself the center of attention, but always thinks about how his fans feel first. Do we ever really know who Jungkook is behind the scenes? Have we been too busy demanding his best performance, without really listening to the tired cues he has given? Is this the last alarm before something worse happens? Question after question now haunts every ARMY who remembers his thin smile at the end of the broadcast. One thing is certain. The world of K-pop will never be the same after that night. And all we can do now is hope and pray that whatever happens, Jungkook will be okay. Not for performance, not for content, but for himself, for his life, for his soul, because behind his golden voice, his dazzling dancing, and his stage charisma, Jungkook is just an ordinary young man who is struggling against something invisible. And that night, he chose to be honest. A bold choice, heartbreaking choice, but also the most humane option. And the ARMY? Now is not the time to demand, but it's time to repay all the love he has given. Not with fan art, not with trending topics, but with deep understanding that even a golden magne has the right to rest. That night's live probably only lasted 20 minutes. But the impact will be felt forever, because for the first time, Jungkook did not appear as an idol, but as a fragile human being. And that's what makes him more beloved than ever.